Alright, so, this is going to be a fun fanfiction idea. I thought it would be kind of cool to do. Bleh, tongue-tied. And that is Randy Cunningham and Candyman. I've done this before in a few times, and I thought I'd revisit it in a new way. So yeah, some of you subscribers who've been here a while probably already know what the story is going to be about in some capacity. So yeah. But yeah, sorry, I'm tongue-tied and kind of scatterbrained today. But anyway, let's get into the story. So this is, like I said, Randy Cunningham, Candyman, and this is going to be interesting. So the story begins with basically in Norrisville High, there's a new TikTok trend going around. Like there's a new social media trend that Randy is not really a fan of. Like, he is not liking this new kind of media trend that's going around, and he's not really that much of a fan of. And that is the Candyman challenge, where basically you say you record yourself in a mirror, of you saying the name 5 times in a mirror, and people always stop at the last second. They always get so scared they stop, and it's bothering Randy to no end. Howard wants to try it because he thinks they'll make them internet famous. It's what if we said it 5 times? Nothing's gonna happen. He's like, Howard, I'm not doing it. I am not doing this stupid fucking challenge. There is no way you are going to get me to do this dumb challenge, because yeah, there's nothing I want from there's nothing I want to do with it. And Randy even gets mad. He goes into the boys' restroom, and he sees Bash and the others doing the challenge. He gets fucking mad. He's like, cut it out. It's stupid. He's like, and Bash, being the Neanderthal that he is, he's like, what? You told me not to do it, so I'm going to do it anyway. And he is going to say it 5 times, but then Randy just pushes him over, gets his he does put up a fight, and he does get in detention. Howard jumped in to try to get Randy out of there, but they got detention. And Howard, while they're in detention, Howard's like, dude, why are you so against this whole challenge? For it's a easy street. We can fake it. We'll make money, we'll get fame, we'll get girls. Why are you so against this? You're the ninja. You shouldn't be, are you scared of it? You're the ninja. You have fought monsters, time traveled, and encountered all this other crazy shit. So tell me, dude, why are you so against this? Why are you so against a stupid little challenge? And he's like, Howard, you don't get it. And Howard's like, well, I want to know. Why does this bother you so much, dude? And he's like, because Daniel Robitaille's my ancestor. And he's like, Daniel who? And Randy's like, oh, God. Okay, so Randy explains the whole thing about Daniel Robitaille and his, the woman he went to was hired to paint for, who was a white woman, and that got him lynched when the father discovered that they had a baby together. That baby was the ancestor that would lead to Randy's bloodline. Basically, on his mother's side, he is Daniel Robitaille's great-great-great-grandson on his mother's side. And that's when Howard's like, holy crap! You're the Candyman's grandson? You're the descendant of the Candyman? But you're white! How? Oh my God, Howard, you can't say those things. So that's when Howard gets this brilliant idea. It's like, dude, this just got way more interesting. And Randy's like, no, dude, it's been a blight in my family for a long time. Daniel Robitaille was a good man who got lynched for being in love with somebody. And this whole Candyman thing has basically been a blight on my family. We've tried really hard to not talk about it. We've tried really hard not to talk about or acknowledge it, because I don't want to be known. I want to be known as the ninja, not the son of Candyman or some bullshit. But of course, if you know the legend, if you know the lore of the character, then you know that these TikTok trends and people talking about him is that's what gives the Robitaille his power. But the thing is, no one's brave enough to say it 5 fucking times. Until Bash decides it's a great idea to say the name 5 times in the mirror. And of course, that summons Candyman. So he's plagued by, rather than just get killed outright, he's just kind of getting psychologically tortured by the dude. Until eventually, Randy's like, alright, I don't know what's going on with Bash, but now I have to, go save him. That's an oxymoron. So, emphasis on moron. So one night, he does see Bash, get attacked finally by Candyman, and Randy, for a second, is like, no way. No way. That can't be right. So Randy, crashes through the window of Bash's bedroom, just as he's about to get killed, and, tackles, Candyman. And he stops for a second, and, Robitaille looks at him and is like, there's something familiar about you. Fascinating. I smell my blood on you. I smell my blood within you. And he's like, okay, first off, dude, ew. Secondly, you're not funny with all this getup. And so, because Randy doesn't believe this is this is Robitaille. He believes it's some kind of maybe it's a robot created by Viceroy. He doesn't want to believe it's an actual spirit. He's like, but and of course, Candyman goes through the whole spiel of I am the writing on the wall, the whisper in the classroom. I am the terror you sleep, that you refuse to acknowledge, but you speak of in hushed voices. And he's like, yeah, well, I'm the ninja. And people to think I'm pretty cool. I wish I could have... and he's like, damn, I could have thought of something better. Anyway, Ninja Air Fist, and Candyman just vanishes. And he's like, oh boy, I think I really am dealing with the ghost of my, a demonic spirit of my late ancestor. So he goes back and calls Howard, and he's like, Howard, you're not going to believe this, but I just encountered Daniel Robitaille. And he's like, you saw Candyman? And he's like, stop calling him that. I think it's my grandfather, my great-grandfather's spirit, who's been upset by all this, and he's not gonna, if I know the story about him, he's not gonna stop until, we stop this TikTok trend. If I know it, because he's Randy knows about the lore. He just doesn't want to fuck with it. Because, again, it's a stain, it perverts a part of his family. And he he basically wants to stop the TikTok trend before someone says it 5 times and does get killed, and he's not there to save them. So Randy now has to figure out a way to not only stop that, but also find a way to maybe put his great grandfather to rest. Again, I know it's not great grandfather; it's more like great grandfather. But so let's just shorten it down to great grandfather. So he's trying. So Randy believes that maybe this can be a way to save his great grandfather's soul if he can find a way to put it to rest. But however, they have to do the first thing is get rid of the TikTok, the TikTok trend, basically stop the Candyman challenge. And Howard's like, got it. We need to come up with a different trend. And Randy's like, okay, you got any idea? Do you got any ideas? And he's like, I think I got one. And Howard's idea for a challenge is his idea is basically the jelly bean stuffing challenge, the jelly bean challenge, which is basically how many jelly beans can you stuff in your mouth, nose, and ears until you can't stuff anymore. And Randy's like, Howard, that's so stupid but brilliant for this day and age. So Randy and Howard start the jelly bean challenge, which I would not be shocked if it actually was a real challenge, or some dumb fuck on the internet decided to actually try this. Don't try this at home. Here's a quick disclaimer, by the way, kids. Don't try this at home. I mean it. Don't try it. That's real talk right there. But getting back to the story. So they basically, phase... It actually works. It phases out the Candyman challenge. And what happens is that now Randy can but Candyman doesn't want to have the challenge go away because it makes people remember him. He gets strength through his story. But Randy decides, like, this is, there can be a different way to tell this story. That idea is that he tells the story of not Candyman, but of Daniel Robitaille, and makes it, he basically, does a whole thing. Like, he tells this story on, like, social media of his grandfather. And he's like, my name's Randy Cunningham, and I am the grandson of I am the great grandson of Candyman, of the real Candyman. And that basically, like, instead, like, Randy's whole thought is, instead of remembering the monster, we remember the man. And that's his whole thing, is, like, he tells his whole, like, his great-grandfather's whole story, and, like, it actually works. Like, it has an adverse effect. Rather than, give power to what his great-grandfather became, it actually, like, erases him even more. Like, so whenever one thinks of Candyman, they'll think of Robitaille instead, and what was done to him. So it kind of puts his spirit at rest, and actually, when Randy's about to go to bed one night thinking, like, yeah, I've done it, like, I saved my I've saved the legacy of my great-grandfather, he sees, not Candyman, but Robitaille, who's, like, in the reflection, he's just like, thank you, and just just fades away. And, yeah. So there you go, guys. That is pretty much Randy Candy. Randy Candy. That's probably a name I don't want to, like, that's probably an internet porn name somewhere. Ugh. There's my Randy Cunningham Candyman crossover. You guys tell me in the comments below, what'd you guys think of it? Comment below, let me know. Hope you all enjoyed this. This was a lot of fun to make, but other than that, hope you all enjoyed this. I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the multiverse.